Hi guys, my name is Giggles, and this is the first episode of Morals and Virtues Rebooted. Woot! So, I would like to tell you guys about an experience I had last year that I thought was just mind-blowing because God totally brought that down to me, and it was really amazing. So, this all starts with every Christmas, not anymore, but every Christmas my church had an event called Back to Bethlehem. And if you've never been to Back to Bethlehem before, it's really fun. It's basically the recreation of the town Bethlehem on the night that Jesus was born. And so it's really cool because there's 100 cast members, and they dress up and act like it was back then, like 2,000 years ago, which is a big, like, that brings me down to reality. Anyways, they act like it was like back then on the night that Jesus was born, and we don't know what electricity is, and we don't know what cameras are, so me and my friends are like, oh my gosh, that person has lightning in a box, what? And it's really cool, and if you're not part of Back to Bethlehem, then you go and you visit it, and you could buy things. You could buy pieces of bread, which is really good, by the way. You could buy little bracelets that were made from clay. You could buy spices. I used to work at the spice table since I was in middle school until recently, and you could buy a bunch of stuff, and you could visit all these attractions. You could pet a donkey. You could see baby Jesus. It's actually a baby, but you know, we're recreating the scene, and it's really cool. And it just, I don't know, for me, it just like it shows how real it is, because like you come to think like this actually happened 2,000 years ago. So it's, I don't know, it's really cool to me. Everybody has a different opinion. So, anyways, if you know me well enough, then you'll know that I'm a big actor person. I want to act so badly. I want to get an agent. I don't actually know if I'm good at acting. I'd like to take classes to know if I should pursue that and try to hone it down. But right now, I know that I love acting, and I love getting certain roles and etc. It's just so much fun. And so, like I mentioned, I had been at the spice table since I was at middle school, and then sophomore year, which was about 2 years ago in high school, I saw this guy who's another cast member. I know him. He was a black market scribe, and in Back to Bethlehem. And I love those characters because they get to act all shady, and they have like these long cloaks and stuff, and you get to walk around and be like, ooh, Batman and stuff. And the scribe's goal in all of Back to Bethlehem is they have these little scrolls. I actually have one right here. And you sell around these little scrolls, and because it looks so old, and like kids nowadays want to see what a scroll is, then you get to sell them, and they're really fun. And so, anyways, before I read this, I wanted that role so badly when I was a sophomore, and I was praying, and I said, God, if you want me to have that role, then let it be, and if not, then I pray that I'll be humble about it. And so, the next year, I had no idea if I was going to get the role of a scribe or not. I really wanted it. I was so anxious about it. I wanted it so badly, and it's a fun role. I loved it, and all of a sudden, God totally blessed me. He was so gracious. He was like, yeah, you're gonna have this role, and I was like, awesome. I love being a scribe. And basically, what you're supposed to do as a black market scribe is you're supposed to walk around in secret, because giving these, which is basically like something from the Bible, is illegal in Bethlehem, and you need to hide from the Romans. And it's kind of funny because my dad was one of the Romans, so we had like all this hilarious dialogue when I was trying to like solicit to people. But so anyways, what the scroll says is, it's a verse from the Bible. It's called it's Isaiah 9:6. And it says, "For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace." And so I had a ton of these, and I had a little basket, and I hid them under my cloak, and what I did was I ran up to people, and I said, oh my goodness, would you like I'm sorry, I haven't eaten in a few days. Would you like a scroll? Maybe only 1 shekel, I promise, please. And people would be like, oh yeah, of course. And so it's a fun role, as I already said. So the big thing with this was that it's all for God. Being any part in this is all for God. It's not to be who you are and be like, oh haha, I'm in Back to Bethlehem. It's to be for God. Say like you're creating a scene, and you're doing this all for God, to give like new people who haven't had a chance or just haven't really come to know God, to really go to this event and say, wow, this really did happen 2,000 years ago. And I think the best attraction in all of Back to Bethlehem is when they go into that little room where you see Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus. It's not actually Jesus, as you could tell, but it's a baby, and they're just so cute. But so anyways, that's the biggest attraction, because people go in there and they see that and they think, wow, this really happened 2,000 years ago. It's so interesting to me. I mean, everybody, I guess, has a different opinion, but that's what I would think. And so anyways, I think Back to Bethlehem lasted about a week or so. And for the first 4 days, I was being extremely selfish. Like not even extremely. I was being like infinity plus 1 selfish. I was being really arrogant and really selfish, and all I was thinking of at that time was, oh my gosh, I'm gonna run up to this lady and act like I've been starving for days, and she's gonna think I'm such a good actor. Or, oh, I'm gonna run up to my group of friends who just decided to come back to Bethlehem, and I'll put on this little act, and I'll say, oh, please buy a scroll, and they know me, so they'll just be like, oh my gosh, Giggles is such a fantastic actor. Wow, how is she not on TV yet? And that's what was going through my mind the first several days, and it was fun because I got to hang out with the other scribe, and we were like messing around, and we were like, oh, haha, let's go mess with these people, and etc. And it's a fun job, but what you're really there for is God. And especially with what this little scroll says, the verse Isaiah 9:6, it's really all about God. So God showed me this amazing thing, like a little like halfway past the week, I think. So he kind of told me, hey, Gigs, you're kind of being a bit selfish. And I was like, you're right, God, I am being really selfish. And then God put this thing in my head where he said, okay, well, get this, Giggles. So you can go up to hundreds of people. And I did. I went up to hundreds of people. There's so many people every year back to Bethlehem. I sold to hundreds of people. I got so many shekels. I sold so many scrolls. We even started running out of them. I sold to so many. And get this, none of them will remember me. They won't remember my face. They won't remember my voice. They won't remember who they got the scroll from, but they will have the scroll. And so when God showed me this last year, I was like blown away. I was like, oh, Gersh. It was such a big mind blow to me. I don't know what you guys are going to think about this, but it was just fantastic. And so for the last 2 or 3 days, I was just having a big blast acting, and just knowing that God is going to somehow work in this person's life should they actually take this this verse to heart. It was just a big honor to me after that, whereas before I was just like, oh, I'm a scribe, I'm going to be famous one day, or something silly like that. And I was just so thankful that God had shown me that, because in all honesty, I don't know what this verse is going to do to people. I just have to make sure that that person gets it. And once again, it's all God's plan, of course, but my job, and I realized it after he showed me that, was that I want to sell these scrolls to as many people as possible, because I don't know how God is going to use that in their lives, and they could become one fierce warrior for him one day. And that just pumped me up. I'm pumped up now just talking about it, and Back to Bethlehem is over. I can't wait for next Christmas. But yeah, so I hope that you guys like that story, and in a moment I'm going to tell you guys some of my morals and virtues applying. Seeking to know and do God's will is far better in the long run than selfishly focusing on the pleasures of this life. It's not about us, it's about him. A wrong motivation is yourself. Man's primary purpose in life is to glorify God and enjoy him forever. You are his servant. I am his servant. All glory to him. The glory goes up to him, and the blessings come down. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening to what I have to say. Let me know if you learned anything. I'd love to know. And also, if you need prayer about anything, or if you're unsure if prayer works, whatever, if you just need help anything, I would love to pray for you. Oh my gosh, I love praying so much. I would love to pray for you, so just leave me a comment, or if you feel better, shoot me a message. It doesn't have to be anything specific. All I have to say is, Giggles, pray for me, and I'll do it. I'll put it on my list, and I'll pray for you tonight. And thank you so much, and I'll have another episode of Morals and Virtues up next Sunday. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Bye!